Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you are watching this live video from. All right, so welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to answer this mathematics paper 1 of 2018 GCE. So we're going to answer questions from 1 to 8. Okay, so let's be interactive as I'll be solving this question. Okay, I will be solving this past paper questions. All right, so the first question here is an algebraic what? An algebraic question. Okay, so we have this algebraic question, and without further ado, let's get started and let's just solve it. Okay, so we are told to simplify 4 open bracket x plus 2y minus 3x minus 8y. Now, how do you simplify this? Okay, this is very simple. So we're going to expand using 4. Okay, we're going to remove the brackets using what? Using 4, and this is going to be 4 times x, and just for what? 4x. 4 times 2y, it will be what? 8y. Okay, is it clear on your end? Tell me if it's clear that side. Then here we're going to expand using what? Using the negative. So we're going to say negative times 3x will be negative 3x. Okay, negative plus negative here is positive, so we're going to write a positive here, positive 8y. So when you reach this stage, what you need to do is you do what? You collect the like terms. So this is 4x and this is 3x. So what determines like or unlike terms is the what? Is the variable or the letter. So this x here is the one that will determine the what? Like terms. So this will be 4x minus 3x. Okay, then this one is what? 8y plus 8y. Okay, then simply solve. What is 4x minus 3x? Take note, guys, here you only deal with what? The coefficients when you do what? When you group them. Just deal with the coefficients. So this one becomes 4 minus 3, which is just 1, and you can't write 1x, you just have to write what? X. Then 8 plus 8 is 16, so this will be 16y. Here you can't do anything because these are unlike what? Are unlike terms. So this is the answer. Okay, 2 marks. Okay, 2 marks. Can we go to the next question? Or maybe there's anyone who has a question on the first one. So if you are not understanding, please we can ask in the comment section there so that I explain. Okay, let's go to question 2. Question 2 of this paper is saying evaluate 27, evaluate 27 to the power 2 over 3. So this is under indices. Okay, it's under indices, and one of the laws of indices state that when you have a something like this, a to the power n over m or m over n is fine. Then since the power is a fraction here, this becomes this here, the root, the coefficient here becomes the root, so it becomes what? M, the root of what? A in bracket to the power n. Okay, so this is exactly what you're supposed to do here. So this 3 becomes the root and becomes the cube root of what? The cube root of 27, okay, to the power 2. Now, the cube root of 27, it means that look for a number which when you multiply itself how many times? 3 times this 3 which is in bracket here should give you 27, and you know that number is 3 because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So the answer here is 3 to the power 2. Okay, then 3 to the power 2, I guess this one you know very well. 3 to the power 2 is what? Is just 3 times 3, which is just 9. Okay, and this is the answer to to the second question, which is question 2. Let's go to question 3, shall we? All right. Question 3 is saying, a straight line passing through 3, 2 and B, which is the point B, this is point A here, this is point A, this is point B, has the gradient -2. Find the value of y. This is simple. This is under coordinate geometry. So we are given 2 points. Point A, let me just write it down, 3, 2, and point B, 5, y. Okay, we also given the value of the gradient. Let me just write m. Gradient here is -2. So with this information, we can now solve what? We can now find what is missing. So since we have been given the gradient, we're supposed to use the formula for what? For gradient. Then what is the formula for calculating gradient? Is simply m is equals to y2 minus y1, since we have 2 points, over x2 minus x1. Okay, so to help you solve this question nicely, what you can do, you can just label here nicely. Where is that? So this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Okay, let's now substitute. So when you substitute here, gradient where there is m, we're going to substitute with -2 is equals to y2 is the y here, so we're going to substitute with what? Y, minus y1 is 2 with a 2 there, over what is the value of what is x2? x2 is here, which is 5 minus x1 is here, 3. Okay, so if you've noticed here, we can solve this part here. Now when you solve 5 minus 3 is just 2, so we just have -2 is equals to y minus 2 over 5 minus 3 is 2. So you can just cross multiply here. So 1 times y minus 2, it won't change anything. It just remain as what? Y minus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to -2 times 4. -2 times 2 is -4. Okay, then you can collect the like terms, or can solve for y, and this becomes y is equals to the -2 crosses the cosine and becomes what? And becomes positive. So you have -4 plus 2. In other words, you add 2 to both sides to get rid of this 2 with this side. So y is equals to -4 plus 2 is -2, and this is the value of y. Okay, so we have calculated. So far we've done 3 questions. The first question was what? An algebraic question where we were asked to simplify. The second one is an indices question, which is asked us to evaluate. Then the third question is under coordinate geometry, which is asking us to find the missing variable, having been given the what? The gradient. Okay, so you can say hi in the comment section. How are you? This is Maclina. So tell me where you are watching from. okay, the name of the school you are at, or if at all you are grade 12, okay, learner, the province you are watching from, okay. So Maklina Kabonga, how are you? Bridget Mulekwa, the tutor, how are you, brother man? All right, so we are done with the question 3. Let's go to question 4 of the same paper. So this is question 4. Wow. Question 4 is under algebra. Okay. When you look at question 4 is under algebra, and we are asked to do what? To factorize. Okay. Factorize completely. How do you factorize this completely? It is very simple. So let me just rewrite the question, which is 5x squared minus 5. So when you look at this question, my friends, you notice that there is something in common. By the way, we have about 4 types of factorization. The first, which is the basic, is what? Common factor. We are supposed to look for the what? For the common factor. Okay. The second one is grouping terms. Then we also have quadratic what? Quadratic expression. Then the last one, okay. The last one is completing the square. Not completing the square, sorry. Difference of 2 squares. Yes. Difference of 2 squares. Now, when you look at this question, there's something in common, 5. So you can factorize by what? By grouping. No, by common factor. Okay? So 5 is common, so we're going to say 5 outside. 5 into 5x squared is just what? X squared. 5 into negative 5 is just negative 1, like this. Okay? Now, check this, guys. When you look at what is inside the bracket here, it is a difference of 2 squares. How? Because, how? This is because 1 can also be written as what? 1 squared. 1 is a perfect square of 1. Okay? So it's the same as we have 5x squared minus 1 squared. Because 1 squared is 1 squared. So what is the inside is a difference of 2 squares. Okay? Now, since the difference of 2 squares, we are going to write the 5 the way it is, then write one of the x's. Okay? So you have 2 x's here, so just write 1, then plus one of the ones here, and it will be just 1. Okay, positive 1. Then write what remained. Okay, so since we had 2 x's, just remain with the 1. In this case, just swap the signs, positive, negative. So this time around, we're going to write negative 1, close bracket, and this is the what? And this is the answer. That's how you factorize it by difference of 2 squares. You are done. Kafendera kamwana kamuntu pangono pangono. Okay, simple but sure. Okay, simple but sure and slow but sure. Now you have to be very careful during the exam when you are solving mathematics paper what? When you are solving mathematics paper 1. Just know that time is very important. Okay, time management is very important. So don't be too slow or too fast, because you can make mistakes. Now, question 5. This is under sets. Okay. Use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. Below. Okay. So you're supposed to use Venn diagram, and this is how many marks? This is 2, usually 2 marks. Okay. Now, what is the secret to answering this question? This question, guys, is very simple. Okay. Very simple. How? Check. Look for the set which is not shaded completely, if at all there is that set. Okay? So when you look at set C, is not shaded completely, so it means that set C has a what? A complement. Okay? So set C co-complement. Now, Which set or sets is shaded or as shaded? A and B, A union B, okay, shaded. So you have A union B shaded there. Now this part here, this part, we have 1 2 3 not shaded because they are part of C. So in other words, write like this. Starting with a set which has a complement, you can say C complement intersect, open bracket, A union B. Okay? This can also be written as, start with A union B in bracket, intersect C complement. Okay? This is the answer. All right. Okay, let's go to question 6. Okay, we are moving. Now, question 6, this is under sets, matrices rather. This is under matrices. Okay. Question 6 is saying, given that matrix C is 5, -1, 2, 1, and D here is 1 and -2. Express CD as a single matrix, Okay, so single matrix, this is a 2 by 2 matrix. This is a 2 by 1 because it is order of matrix is row by what? Row by column. It's row by column. Now, look at this, my good friends. When it comes to multiplying matrices, you also multiply row by what? Column. So, we are asked to calculate CD. So, matrix C is 5, 2, -1, +1, like this. So, we are going to multiply this by D, which is what? 1, -2. So since it is row by column, we are going to multiply this row by this column. And this is how you multiply. 5 times 1, we're going to say 5 multiplied by 1. Okay, let me just put this one in brackets so that you understand. Plus, we are still multiplying in this, we're still in this column. -1 times -2. Okay, so we are done using this row and this column. So we come to this row and the same column. Okay, so if we had another column this side, would have continued multiplying this side. Okay, now since we only have one column here, we can just multiply this times this. Then we're done. We come down here to this. 2 times 1, like this, plus always -1 times -2. Okay, I need to double check so that I don't make mistake here. Okay, like this. Then check, guys. So you can know that you are doing the correct thing if the multiplier, the number on the right side is what is positive. I mean, is the same. Okay, with this one. So this is 1, this is 1, this is -2, this is -2. So we are doing the correct thing so far. What is 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, plus -1 times -2 is positive what? +2. Okay, then down here we have 2 times 1, which is just 2, plus 1 times -2 is -2, and this is what we are having so far. Okay, we are moving. Let's move this side. 5 plus 2 is 7, and positive plus negative is negative. Then 2 minus 2 is 0. Oh, so this is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer. and this is it's a single matrix. Now let me just check to make sure that I haven't made a mistake. Okay, so you should be solving together. If you have somewhere to solve, you can be solving together and confirm if my solution here is correct. Okay, so that is okay. Okay, I think it's fine, because 5 times 1 is just 5. This time this one is negative, is 2, positive 2, so 5 plus 2 is 7, so this is correct. Then here 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1, this 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, because of positive, is correct. Let's go to the next question. This is question 6. We are almost done with this part 1 of this paper, so let's go to question 6. Okay, where is question? Is this question 6? Question 7. Question 7. Okay. Question 7 is under sequence and series. Sequence and series. So this is saying, question 6 is saying, the first 3 terms in an arithmetic progression are 5. Let me just write them down. 5, 7, and 9. Okay. Find the A common difference. So this is simple. How do you find the common difference? How do you find the common difference? This is very simple. So question A, common difference is calculated by the second term, okay, minus T1, the first term. Not usually the second term, but if there's just the consecutive or following each other, you can say the next term minus the previous The previous term. In this case, you can also use 9 minus 7 is to find the same answer. That's what it means when they say common Common difference. So here it's going to be D is equals to T2 is 7, so 7 minus 5, which is just 7 minus 5 is 2, so common difference is 2. Okay, you can also use 9 and 7. 9 minus 2 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2 be what? Is 2 be 2. Okay, let's go to question B. Question B saying find the sum of the first 12 terms. Okay, still up. This is simple. How? As long as you know the formula, okay, to use when calculating the sum of arithmetic progression. So the formula is Sn is equals to n over 2, okay, open bracket, 2a plus, open parenthesis, n minus 1, close parenthesis, then d, then close bracket. So this is the formula to use when calculating what? Calculating the sum. Now, let's substitute. So what is n? N is 12 here. Okay? So I'm going to substitute with the 12 is equals to 12 over 2. Okay, then 2 times, what is A? A is the first term, which is here, which is 5. Okay, plus, open bracket, N is still 12. 12 minus 1, and 12 minus 1, close bracket. Then what is the common difference? We already calculated D, common difference as what? As 2. So I've not solved anything here. I've just substituted. Okay, I've just substituted. Now we can start solving. So here, what is 2 into 12? 2 into 12 is 6. So you can just write 6. Then open bracket. What is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10. So you can just write your 10 here. Plus. So because of these brackets here, let's start with the brackets. What is 12 minus 1? 12 12 minus 1, if my mind serves me well, it's 11. Then we're multiplying with this common difference. Don't forget. Okay? Common difference is 2. Okay. All right. Then from there, please don't add 10 and this 11. Why? Because there's multiplication here, and according to PEMDAS or BODMAS, okay, whichever we are using in your country, okay, order of operation. So you first start with what? Multiplication. So here we are going to maintain this 6 the way it is. Since we are going to break all the parentheses, we're going to remain with what? We're going to break the brackets. We're going to say 10 plus, what is 2 times 11? 22. I hope you are getting something. I'm taking my time so that you understand, but in the exam, there's nothing like understanding. You solve. It is serious business. Okay? What is 10? Now here, you are multiplying here, but you have parentheses, you have brackets here. So you start with what is in the brackets. So 6 times, what is 10 plus 22? This is 32. Okay, 32. If I have not made a mistake here. Okay. Now here we can multiply. Okay. What is 6 times 2? 6 times 2 is 12, so we're going to write it 2 and carry 1. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1 is what? 18 plus 1 is 19. So you can write 19. Can somebody confirm if it's 192? If the answer here is correct as 192? Don't use a calculator, by the way. This is mathematics paper 1. We don't use calculators, okay? Good. You are wise. All right. Let's go to question... now, before we go to question 11, you can just read through some... you can just read some comments here. Watching from Lusaka in English literature, in English and biology tutor. Okay. That's good, Mr. Bright Mulekwa. Okay, Mr. Bright Mulekwa, thank you so much for your support. Okay. Let's go to question 8. Let's go to question 8. 8a, this is under probability, and this question is just saying, in a game, the probability of a player losing is 0.3. What is the probability of a player winning the game? This is simple. You know, guys, that in a game, there are certain games where you can either win or lose. There is nothing like draw. Okay? So, in such games, okay, such cases, this is what we call probability of A plus probability of not A is equals to 1. Why 1? Listen, probability can range from 0 to what? To 1. You can't find the answer under probability which is greater than 1. You can find the fractions, but not greater than 1 after dividing. If the probability is 1, it means that that event is certain. That event definitely will take what? Will take place. Now, these kind of questions here, they are simple to answer because it's probability of positive plus probability of negative is what? Certain. Something must happen between the two. So here we're going to say, we have been given probability of losing, so we're going to say probability of winning. We're calculating probability of winning is equals to 1 minus probability of losing, which is what? Probability of losing. Let me just write this. By the way, this is just 1 mark. Don't waste the time when calculating this. I'm just explaining so that you understand the concept. So it'd be 1 minus 0.3. Now, some some of you guys may find difficulty calculating what? Calculating these decimals. How do you subtract? You can subtract like this. You can say, because 1 is the same as 1.0, then here use 0.3 the way it is. You're subtracting. 0 minus 3, it can't, so you can just get 1 from this one, and this one becomes 0, and then this one becomes 10, and say 10 minus 3, 7. 0 minus 0 just 0. So the answer here is just what? 0.7. Okay, 0.7. And okay, let's go to 8b. We still have one more question. Remember, you're supposed to answer 8 questions in this question paper. So we have one more question here. And this question 8b, is under coordinate geometry, and it's saying the coordinates of B and C are 2, 5 and 4, -3 respectively. Respectively means in that order. So here what it means is that this coordinate here, the first coordinate is for B, the second coordinate here for what? C. If M is the midpoint of BC, okay, these points, what is the position vector of M? This is simple. This is simple. Position vector of M, in other words, this is asking us to calculate what? To find the coordinates of M and write them in what? In column vector. Okay? Now, how do you find the midpoint? So the formula is simple. Let me just write down the coordinates given here. So you're given the coordinates of B as 2, 5. Okay, I hope it's visible. Then we've also been given coordinates of C, 4, -3. Okay, is -3? Yes, -3. And then, yeah, that's what we've been given. Now let's find the midpoint. Okay, so we're going to say midpoint. Let me just abbreviate as MP. Midpoint is equals to x1 plus x2 over 2. This is the formula for calculating what? Calculating midpoint, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Then we can just close. Why this formula? Because the midpoint is a point in the form of x, y. Okay? So MP, which is just M, because that's substitute with M, is equals to, what is x1? Look guys, this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. Okay, let's just substitute. What is x1? X1 is 2. Okay, plus what is x2? X2 is 4 over 2, comma, y1 is 5 plus y2, where are you? -3. Okay, so you can say -3 over 2. Okay, kasova kamwana kamuntu, as long as the concept kaiziba. Okay, the midpoint is equals to what is 2 plus 4? 6 over 2, comma, what is positive times negative? Is negative. So it's, in other words, here it is just the same as 5 minus 3, which is 2. So we have 2, 2. Now check, we can still divide here. So M, 2 into 6 is 3. 2 into 2 is 1. So in terms of midpoint, this is the answer here. Now look at the question. The question we are saying, write in position what? We should write in position vector. So position vector of M, we can just say, therefore, M is equals to 3, 1. like this. And this is the answer. Okay? So guys, if you've enjoyed this presentation or this lesson, kindly subscribe, like the video. You can also give us a comment, okay? And let us know where you are watching, from, and the province you are representing, okay? Thank you so much. May God bless you as you prepare for your exams. Let's meet at the same time tomorrow as you'll be solving the part 2 of the same video. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.